I would entertain a motion to acknowledge the receipt of the town clerk's report.
So moved.
Okay, I'll second it. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed, passes unanimously. Next are our minutes, and in your packet we have the minutes of our regular meeting on April 25, 2012. And I'd entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes of April 25, 2012 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed? One abstention? Okay, next is the First Selectman's report. And since we last met, on April 12th, Joe Heller and I attended the Heroes Breakfast at the Omni Hotel at Yale, where Eric Supreme was honored. As you know, he was killed in Afghanistan almost a year ago. There was a video presentation involving his parents, which was very well done, and it was a fitting tribute to him and to his family. On April 18th, I attended the Holocaust Remembrance at the JCC Jewish Community Center. The principal speaker was a professor at Southern Connecticut State College, Mika Ram Binford, who was a survivor of the Holocaust and who teaches film as well at Southern in Holocaust Studies. And her speech focused on the role of the rescuers in this Holocaust experience. It was very well done. On April 26th, the Economic Development Commission had a breakfast at Scoop This. That was well attended. There were more than 40 members of our business community there. Professor Alan Plattis, who's a professor at the Yale School of Design, presented his report and the report of the Economic Development Commission on ways to improve our commercial district. There was a question and answer period. They are arranging a presentation to the Town Plan and Zoning Commission, and then following that, that report will be presented to the Board of Selectmen. On the same day, I attended the Amity Hall of Honor dinner at the Grassy Hill Lodge in Orange. 2 Woodbridge residents were recognized as distinguished graduates of Amity High School. Brian Lazat, who is now the assistant provost at Yale and graduated #1 in his Yale class, was honored, as well as Joseph Pepe, who is the owner and establishment of Planet Fitness. There are a number of outstanding graduates of Amity High School, including the president of Georgetown University, among others, and it's a very impressive event, and I pay tribute to Dr. Brady for organizing and establishing this event.
The president of Georgetown University is a graduate of Amity?
And a former resident of Orange. And he's not a cleric either.
Oh.
So, anyways. So, and there are a lot of others that are as equally distinguished. Yeah. Then on April 28th, it was opening day for Bethwood Baseball League. 40 years they're celebrated. Beth was there, Lawrence was there, Greg was there. Dwight Rowland was recognized, and they also honored Eric Supreme and Eva Block, who died in that tragic fire at Marist College, and Steve Fiore, who passed away as a former president of the Bethwood Baseball League. On April 1st, I attended the ribbon cutting ceremony at Saloon. That's Sun and Moon, night and day, I guess. It's a very impressive restaurant. They renovated the premises there, and they feature Spanish cuisine. And then on that same evening, I attended the Woodbridge Volunteer Fire Association installation dinner, and they installed their officers, and Beth was there, and of course the chaplain, Tom Kennefick, was there. And to follow that up, on May 3 rather, I attended the National Day of Prayer at the Center along with Joe Hellauer and Beth Heller, and there were several clergy from our town churches who offered prayers. And then on May 4, we met Joe, Tony, myself, and Chief of Police, Public Works Director, and Fire Chief, with representatives of UI concerning a microgrid proposal, which is a result of the recent storms. And Woodbridge is one of 2 towns singled out for this pilot project, along with Stratford, to provide for energy for the center of the town in the event that the power is out. And so they're gathering further information to determine the cost of that. And so we look forward to that as being established here in Woodbridge. We were told that of the 17 towns that service UI, we're the only one that had any good things to say about UI. So they're signaling us out, but it was true. They did a good job. And as you probably know, Dr. Brady has decided to remain as superintendent at Amity. And they will dedicate the auditorium at Amity High School in his name on Friday, May 11th at 7 p.m. And then on May 7th, I received a phone call from Chris Hatfield of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. And he told me that they have received some funding for the West River flood study. And he will be making a visit to Woodbridge and meeting with us about further input on the West River flood study, hopefully the removal of the Pond Lily Dam, etc. So that's my report. Joe.
Number one, on the 28th of May, which is just a couple of weeks away, that's Memorial Day. We'll have our annual Memorial Day ceremonies at the Veterans Monument as we normally do. We've extended the invitation, still up in the air if Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro can be there. We're hoping that she can. And we have two people that we're honoring. Private Sufrini was killed in June 14th, and so he's one of the first of two who's passed on since our last Memorial Day. The other one is past Chief Ed Redfield, who was also earned a combat infantryman's badge in World War II. So that starts at quarter to 11, and we have a draft program that I'm working on right now, which Mr. Sheedy will get, and some of the other people. We're expecting a pretty big turnout. The other thing is the Civil War Centennial thing is coming along very well. That is on Sunday, September 23rd, no rain date. We've got a contract with a Fife and Drum Corps. We've got a contract with some 1862 infantrymen in their garb. We were successful today, Mr. First Selectman, in getting Abe Lincoln properly represented.
Oh, good.
And he will be in to see us next week. Big, tall lad, speaks well, and that's another, there's many little boxes on this thing, and that's another little box that's taken care of. And on last Thursday, the 3rd of May, there was a, hosted by at Assumption Church Hall, there were a number of citizens along the route where the gas line is going, which of course is coming up Center Road, going on Amity Road, obviously on Meeting House, and down again, going out Beecher, across Beecher, to the left, down to B'nai Jacob, and straight on Beecher to 40 Beecher, where Beecher Road School is. We had quite a good number, and since then a number of people have contacted. These are residential. There's two different marketing things. There's an industrial municipal one, which is the one that we're working on with the 5 municipal accounts, but there's also a residential one. And Dr. Ronald came up to me today and has already called. He didn't come to the meeting, but he knew of it, and he called the gas company, and he's got somebody coming a week from Saturday. And that's a very good sign, because that means he's going to convert. We think that we're hoping we're going to get 50 to 70%. These two ladies over here were present at the meeting. Is there anything?
They're not even on the route.
Nope. We're not on the route.
Not
but
yet.
Not yet.
We're planning on being difficult. We're planning on being very pushy and difficult.
Yeah. I'm a cul-de-sac off a cul-de-sac, so I have a lot of concerns. It's like not going to happen.
includes
But at least
my
you're on
report.
Rimmon.
I'm planning on being as annoying as
Right.
possible until I get what I want, but that's another story.
Okay. Tom.
Okay, Amity Board of Ed, you did mention that he will be staying, Dr. Brady will be staying. Unfortunately for, I guess,
Bittersweet.
bittersweet reasons,
Bittersweet
the
reasons.
loss of his mother and his wife,
Right.
and couldn't bear giving up Amity as well. So it's good to have him stay. It's hate to have him stay this way.
Right. It's complicated.
And there was, again, you mentioned the auditorium. There was much discussion at the meeting about the auditorium and naming the auditorium and whether it should have gone back to the facilities committee, and back and forth there was a petition. In the end, it was voted and approved to name the auditorium in his name, which is nice to have a living memorial of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. Recently, Amity was, the high school was ranked 7th in the state by CAP scores. I think it was 191 schools that were ranked. We were ranked 7th.
It's not too shabby.
Nope.
Nope, not too
Very
bad.
nice.
The budget passed, and the issue of the maintenance as well passed. Rather overwhelmingly, Orange defeated. Well, let's see. Orange didn't vote in favor of the budget. They voted in favor of the maintenance, but it wasn't enough to change the vote. So the vote did pass. And let's see. I think those were really the big items. And there was one other thing that I meant to bring up earlier, so it's really not under my report, but a question on the, I meant to mention it when the golf course was up. We were discussing that. Have we looked at putting together a group, a committee, a meeting of the town commissions and boards to
Thinking
discuss?
of doing that in June?
Okay, so would that be at the June meeting, or would we would have a
It'd be a
meeting?
separate meeting
Of all the boards with the Board of Selectmen?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. I just don't want it to get too far out, and then, because I've actually had people approach me wanted to know where we're going. I think Greg had someone ask if they'd missed the meeting, because they know that it got discussed at the last meeting, so. All right, good, that's all I have.
Great.
On Monday, May 7th, the TPZ approved the Woodbridge Firearms Trading Post LLC, 28 Selden Street. So it's a retail store for sale of firearms and related sporting goods, as well as gun safety classes by certified instructors. So that's the gun shop, we're calling it. And I believe at that meeting, TPZ asked Christine Sullivan to do some research, because they were at the beginning process of looking into possibly redressing our regulations, which wouldn't affect this business, but maybe a future one. Let's see, Zoning Board of Appeals approved an appeal for Michael Dow. He was had denied because he was trying to change a sign that was approved. He wanted it a little bit larger, and he was approved at the Zoning Board of Appeals on April 9th. And the Inland Wetlands, Saturday, May 12th, has sites to be inspected. Town of Woodbridge, 13 Meeting House Lane, application to construct a new public works facility. Northrop Road Properties LLC, 54 Northrop Road, application for a 3-lot subdivision. And Massaro Farm, 41 Ford Road, requests for determination of reinforcing a stream crossing on the farm property as a regulated activity or as right of activity. That's all I have.
Great, thank you. Beth?
I'm ready. I have a question. Did anyone hear on the news today that the post office closings have been abandoned?
The what?
Post office closings.
I heard that about Wallingford.
That they were going to abandon nationally and just cut hours. Just,
Oh, was there?
yeah,
Really? Okay.
just maybe happened. That instead of closing all the rural post offices and everything. So I just wondered if anyone else heard it, or did I?
You made it up.
I made it up. No, I really did hear it. So we'll stay tuned. I think that's good.
Good,
Maybe.
very good.
I hope it's true. I did go to opening day ceremonies, and I really want to thank Dwight Rowland for a very, very moving day, and it meant a lot to Barbara. It was really a lovely, lovely experience. As hard as it is, it's just they did a great job in honoring Eva. And I also want to thank the Walters, Catherine and Larry, for putting together a very nice program, the National Day of Prayer. That was also a very moving ceremony. Let's see. On Monday, May 7th, I went to Human Services. That was 2 nights ago. And please save the date now. On Thursday, September 13th, they're having their annual fundraiser. Will include a silent auction, light appetizers, wine, beer, and soft drinks, and a special program featuring Woodbridge resident Richard Jackson. If anybody knows him, he's a wonderful speaker. He's a worldwide known and internationally recognized psychic, and he's very interesting. You could sit there for 3 hours and it would seem like it's 10 minutes. He's wonderful.
Well, can he tell us how the golf club's gonna do
Let's
in the
hope
next
so.
couple of
Why
years?
don't you
Because
put
if
that
so,
down?
we gotta be talking to this guy.
He's gonna ask you to write a question,
There you
so
go.
put it on your paper, but be sure to come to that, it's gonna be a really
How
great
many
thing.
rounds are we going to achieve in 2000?
So please save that date. Suzanne Bonk, who's the person that I guess personnel recommended and we did,
Yep.
is working out as a full-time administrative
Full-time,
assistant, is working out very well.
Good.
Mary Ellen said it was really going great. And Michael Kavanaugh, our fire marshal, did a fabulous job with, he presented, they did a program for seniors on fire safety and fire prevention at the senior center, and then either walked or drove 30 seniors over to the new firehouse, and they had a tour of the facility. And after that, several of them realized that they didn't know how to change the batteries in their smoke detectors. So he went out to all those individual homes and changed the batteries for them, which I thought was a really lovely thing to do. Mary Ellen could not say enough about how much she steps up to help them. The annual volunteer tea is this coming Thursday. Hopefully you all were, it's tomorrow, right? Wow. At 2 o'clock. Hopefully you're all invited coming, and Nicholas Santoro is going to be honored with the First Selectman's Youth Award. And 139 volunteers will also be honored. I guess they're going to have to fly through that. Wow. They had a home alone course during spring break, and also the semi-formal was held this year in Woodbridge for the youth evening, part of the youth evening program, and 125 kids from Woodbridge and Bethany attended. And the seniors are going, I think it's in New Haven, to a Wii tournament. We're participating. They all have their own T-shirts, and we have a team together, seniors, for Wii.
That's great.
I think it's wonderful, yeah. And Mary Ellen is working on updating the drug and alcohol policy for drivers, because it hasn't been updated in several years. And the Fire Commission is meeting May 21st, which I guess is a week from Monday, so I don't have anything from them. And that's it.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Neither of my commissions met since our last meeting. Shortest report ever.
Mhm.
Brief and to the point, that's good. Okay, any other business anyone wants to take up? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.